Well, good evening and welcome to the SHAC. It's Thursday evening. It is the 16th of January already. Where is this month going to? And my name's Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK. And we're all set to do some colouring. We've got that lovely floral alphabet that I drew, and we're just injecting it with some lovely colour. So I'm hoping that our friend Jane is in the room with you. Jane Telford, if you're there, please let me know that the sound is good. Good evening, Jackie. Yeah, I hope that the sound is good. Nice to have your company. Nice to see you too, Deb. Sound all good. Thanks, Jane. Yeah, it's been quite a day today. Very busy. Bit of a scramble. So I'm quite happy to sit here and just do a little bit of colouring in. After yesterday's craft along, didn't that go well? I thought so. When we did our coasters, I thought they went really well. I brought mine along finished, and I'm flattening it in. I'm just flattening it in here with two groovy tabs before I seal it. Okay, and then it's going to wing its way to our Maggie. So I don't know if you were around yesterday, but I did ask you to do me a favor, Maggie. I'm sure that she would really appreciate a card and a loving thought, because Maggie Crane is going through it at the moment, my friends, and they're for the grace of God and all that. So do me a favor, if you have time, send a card, address it to me, and then I'll make sure that those cards get up to Maggie. Yeah, I may even have to take them myself. So do me a favour and spare a thought for Maggie, because she's having the battle of her life at the moment. She sure is. And up here too, you know, because she understands what's going on, and you know how that is. I was there myself, and it's quite a dark place, isn't it? So there you go. That would be much appreciated. And so I thought that went very well. And there were loads of us together yesterday evening. So I'll be surprised if you're all here again tonight. I know the telly's rubbish. But you know what? We'll keep it short. We'll keep it sweet. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it light. And we'll just colour in a couple of letters. I thought, look, this is the sum total of my prep for tonight. Are you ready? It's getting worse. In the beginning, when we started doing the SHAC, I used to keep these books, see, and then I would write and I would prepare, because it was quite something to sit alone for an hour and talk to yourself, okay? And so I used to make really long. I've got a book, but it's great. It was like a diary, because I could go back through those books that I wrote during lockdown and, you know, every day, when I prepared what I was going to write about, and I gave myself, you know, prompts and that. So now it's almost like a diary, but my diary's getting really like a one-liner. Do you want to see this today? Look, A. That's as far as I got before the bell went. So this is winging it at its absolute best, okay? I mean, I know what letter we're doing. That's progress. Nice to have your company. Come on in. Yeah, lovely to see all these names. Always the same people, and I like that. But I also love it when new people come. I think they're very pleasantly surprised when they rock up and they come on in and they have no idea what a banging little family of friends we've got here, do they? I know. One day, I do actually. When Paul's on, I join in when I've got time. And it's really fun. You know, there's some of the banter that goes on. I love my SHAC and afterwards books. There you go. Do you know, and I'm in touch with Pat Hosking's daughter, Sarah, at the moment. And I'm going to speak to her tomorrow morning. And when we went to the funeral, which was about a year ago, almost to the week, I remember Sarah and the family showing us Pat's SHAC lockdown journals. It was quite phenomenal. So I'm hoping that she will maybe on the anniversary of Pat's passing, maybe she will entrust me with those books. Because I think, I tell you what, it will be an amazing trip, not just to remember Pat, who was an absolute powerhouse of a fabulous woman, but to, you know, to have a little trip down memory lane. When you see her work, you know, and Sarah and their siblings were telling me during lockdown, and well, that went on for a long time, didn't it? Every day. Nobody dared contact Pat during the morning. At 10 o'clock, she was like, she shut her door and she was doing her thing, right? And nobody dared interrupt her while she was with Barbara. That's what she used to call it. I'm with Barbara. Okay. And then in the afternoon, she would practice what we'd done in the morning, and she'd spend the whole afternoon perfecting it. And that's what I call an artist. Really fabulous. Yeah. So I'll speak to Sarah tomorrow. Note to self, ask Sarah about, I'm going to ask Sarah about Pat's journals, because they were pretty unbelievable, actually. And Jill Wilding, if her journals for the SHAC are anything like her journals for Japan, then we're in for another treat, friends. Yeah. Good group. Good group. So, spare a thought for Maggie. If you get a chance, lovely card, few kind words, fantastic. Okay. Right, A, are you ready? I thought we'd go to A today. It struck me as the easiest place to start. Let's start at the very beginning. Okay, we went down to O last week. I know why, because we're on O for orchid and O for owl. Yeah, Monday we're going to do those owls. That'll be good. So if you're new to the fold, don't be surprised if I'm a little bit wacky today. It's just been one of those days. Rotating, trying to get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big thing coming up. Let's get this A sorted out, and then I'll tell you about what's coming up tomorrow. You've already found them. You groovers have already found the new Richelieu plates, the Richelieu plates on the website. They're already, the orders are already coming in, which is so gratefully received. Now, let's have a look. A for allium. Yeah, A for allium, B for bougainvillea, and C for cornflower. D for daisy, and E for edelweiss. Right, so we're going to go to the A. Okay, let's go with the A. Now, I made the mistake, well, I say mistake, I figured it out not too late, that you see my letters are not actually coloured in. So when you buy these posters, this set of posters, like I give you a key like that, which is great. But what you get, you see, you get 3 A3 posters. But what I happen to know is that 3 A3 posters, one light grey lettering, yeah? So one of them is light grey lettering. So the one I started to get ahead of you guys, oh, and also for this bit here, that is the light grey lettering. See this? No light grey lettering. See what a difference it makes? We've had to inject the light grey lettering, but that's okay. And the grey that I used is Cold Grey 3, and it gives you exactly the same grey, almost to the tone, is really perfect, as the printed postcard. Okay, so that's worth noting. And what I'm going to do, because of where the A is on the page, I'm going to actually turn it round, and I'm going to, if it's all right with you, I'm going to start with the actual letter so that I can see it. So I've got my A, and as far as my colours go for the allium, I'm using sky blue. So the sky blue is in that set of 12. You know that set of 12, the greys that I'm talking about, where the grey is, that sky blue's in there. And then, I mean, I've got a crazy number of polychromos, just because I love them. But I've also got my pergoliners. But I'm going to be pedantic about the colours. And so if I feel that the polychromos do the job, I will reach for them. And with the alliums, I find that they're a lilac-y blue, aren't they? They're kind of a lilac-y blue rather than a turquoisey blue. You know what I mean? So these are the ones that I'm going to go for. But first of all, the grey. Are we okay with that? Nice. Right, sip of tea, then we'll get started. So I was just thinking that on a Thursday, it'd be nice just to do a couple of letters, unless there's something else going on, you know. Yeah, let's get started and then we can have a gas, can't we? So I think what I'll do is I'll come in a bit closer so that you can actually see what I'm doing. How about that? Is that good enough? Yes, yes, yes. I don't want to put my head in the way, you see. So I just want to make sure my head's not in the way. Okay, good. I think that's good enough. And I'm going to use my Dame Edna's, my magnifiers. And I'm just going to add, my head's not in the way, is it? No. So what I'm going to do is just add the grey to the A, the grey to the A. And, God, you know, it hits the spot every time colouring, doesn't it? Don't you find that? Are you going to join me colouring this in? Let's just have a look. See, I quite like the idea of defining the letter before I define the flowers, because that way, yeah, there you go. So I've got that chisel going again, you know, that flat side. And now I can just gently apply colour. And then if it gets a little bit tight, because these letters are quite tight, even though we're making an A3 poster, we're only doing little bite-sized pieces really, aren't we? We've really been surprised at the uptake at the mini makes. You know, we started that Facebook page. Jane Telford, she's one of the players there. And we're doing that Clarity Crafts, what is it, the Facebook page? Clarity Crafts, mini makes and ATCs. And we've had such a brilliant uptake. It's really lovely. I was talking to Jazz about it today. Can you see this okay, friends? Is this all right, Jane? Give us a clue. So I was talking to Jazz, our lovely designer, at work today. We were doing some planning, some art planning, and she had some really lovely ideas. So, you know, more will be revealed on that front. We were all really buzzing today with the award news, you know, with 3 awards, you know, it's not to be sniffed at, is it? So we were pretty chuffed. We had a meeting of the crew this morning. We got together and had a little planning meeting. So now I've done it upside down. Now I'm just going to look at where I am here. So I won't worry about blending it with I'll do that at the end. Okay, but I've got my A. At least I know where the letter is and where the flower is now. Yeah? Nice. So you compare that, for example, with the A that we're going for. There we are. So that helps a lot now that I've done that bit. So I can see now where I'm going. Okay, light blue first. I don't want to spend too long on each flower, because let's face it, there are 26 of them. But I think we want to do it nicely, don't we? I think so. To me, this is like a bit of therapy, to be fair. isn't it? Don't you think? Got to just stretch your arms and stretch your neck. Right, now we're going to go for the that light blue. Show you so you can see it. Right, light blue. So it's a good idea, that sky blue. Right, and what we'll do is they're like little teardrops. Let's just do the alliums. Know that these are the flowers here, and these are the leaves. Okay, so we'll just do what we know is obviously the blue bit, and what we're going to do is just very lightly fill those little tiny, very lightly. Okay, so you need a sharp pencil. Can you see this okay? I'm not. What are we saying? 830 members on there now. That's great. That's great. And Jane says, and Grace is in the room too. Well, that's fabulous, Grace. We thought you had to go to the to see about your back. That's why I asked Jane to help out. But it's good to have your company. There. So we'll just do a little tiny bit of blue like this. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, so this afternoon, Paul and I were working out a plan for tomorrow morning, what we're going to do, you know, with these new plates that everybody's buzzing about at the moment. I just blogged about them too, so I chased home and did a blog quickly. And yeah, they're pretty spectacular. When you actually look at some real lace, when I got home, I dug out my grandmother's lace and had a proper look at it. And I'll take it into work tomorrow morning so that you can really see where the idea comes from, this Richelieu. It's so beautiful. Right, and again, these ones here as well, just a whisper of light blue. Let's just get a whisper of light blue. Should we call it that? There we are. The lovely thing about these pencils is, if you go over the edge, it's not terminal, is it? Oh, listen, if you go over the edge, it's not terminal anyway. It's only a poster. So let's have a look. We've got a little bit of blue there, blue there, blue there, blue there, blue there. So these little buds here are blue as well. Okay. I think if we learnt nothing else in the SHAC, what we learned was not to take ourselves too seriously when it comes to this stuff. You know? Just get on with it, eh? Not worry about being judged. Serves no purpose worrying about that stuff, does it? There you go. So we've got our nice blue now. Light. Oh, I missed one here. Hold up. I remember drawing these. We were in New Mexico. And I remember I had to do this floral alphabet. And I remember thinking, oh, that's a lot of drawing, you know. But then what I did was I just set myself a kind of a target, and I just said, do a couple every day, do 2 or 3 every day. Don't, you start writing a book, you know, you say, oh, I've got to write a book. We do a chapter every day, you know, do a page of a chapter every day, do a little bit, do a paragraph, you know, and it's the same like this. If you look at the whole poster, you think, oh, I'm never going to get that done. Do a layer at a time. Do a leaf at a time. Do a flower at a time. Break it down, break it down, break it down into smaller, digestible, bite-sized pieces of art until you're comfortable with it. Now, I had a little bit of a moment this afternoon because I was looking at these masterpieces that we're, you know, these new Richelieu plates. And I was looking at them and I was thinking, well, how in God's name am I going to demonstrate that tomorrow? You know, I've got 10 minutes. Never going to happen. And so I had to kind of calm it, Kermit. I had to think about it. And then I had to what I had to do was I had to say, right, I'm not doing that great big card. I'm going to make a coaster size. That's exactly what I did. I went straight back to coaster size. And as soon as I went to the coaster size, I calmed down. Because then I thought, that's achievable, that's doable. And I thought, well, there we are. It all tracks right back to the mini makes. It all comes right back to the fact that at the moment, life, my life, your life, life is so overwhelming, isn't it? Well, mine is. I have to just bring it right down until I'm comfortable with it. If somebody said to me now, I'm commissioning you to paint a mural, I'd say I'm going to have to pass, I'm afraid. I couldn't even do a book cover at the moment, let alone a mural. Mind you, it depends. It depends. If the price was right, I'd engage all my mates to help me with a mural. You're my mates, you'd help me. Right, look, so now we've done the blue, the light blue, and now we're going to get some shade going. So we need a darker blue. Now, here's the tip of the day. We can either, let's have a look, take a bit of card. Let's try it out. So you can take the colour that you're using. There you go. We went really lightly, didn't we? We literally went that lightly. Okay. But see, the same pencil gives you lots of depth. Of course it does. You know, you put another layer down, goes a bit darker. Put another layer down, goes a bit darker. Put another layer down, goes a bit darker. What you're doing is you're getting the same tone. That's trick number one, right? It's pretty basic, but you can use the same color to get a depth. You don't have to go to a darker blue to get depth. If you go to a darker blue to get depth, let's have a look what we got here. Light ultramarine. Well, so let's have a look at the light ultramarine. That's darker. So now I could take the light ultramarine, which is another blue, and that would automatically, you know, without pressing harder at all, is going to give me a darker color, right? So it's because it's a darker blue. If I go to, I bet I've got a dark ultramarine. Well, looky here. That one's called ultramarine. Okay, so ultramarine is obviously darker again, isn't it? So it's nice to have both. But if you've only got your set of 12, then you just press harder with that one. I know I'm teaching you to suck eggs here, but you know, just because I'm using a darker color, it doesn't mean you haven't got a darker color. Of course you have. And in the pergoliners, there's a darker blue as well. Okay, let's not overcook it. So I'm going to go to the light ultramarine, and I'm just going to, with a really sharp pencil, let's have a look at the one we've got. Let's come up here and let's look at it. Okay, right. See that? So that's what we're doing now. We're putting little bits of depth here, around here, like that. There, in there. You don't have to press hard because it's a darker colour anyway, see? That'll do. Okay. Not that side. Now, here in the flowers, just light feathery strokes from the centre. So it's quite good that it's upside down because it's easier to, it's actually easier. So Grace, your brother called this morning. Grace only not nipped in now. She's gone now. Okay, good. So Grace was in and now she's gone. I know she had to go to the osteopath. She did her back, didn't she, at Christmas? Yeah, she did. But her brother, he rang today as I came in from work, because of course he's in San Francisco, so he's 8 hours behind us, right? So Mark called, bless him, and you know he's growing up. Hark at this, right? So Mark, who's got a really, good job and lovely wife and living the California dream in Northern California, so he's a long way from the fires. He said it's really terrible because it's almost like you feel guilty because in San Francisco it's cold and fresh, you know, it's brisk, but it's beautiful, sunny, blue skies. I remember when I lived there, January and February, lovely months, you know. It's the only place I ever saw Santa Claus in shorts. Yeah, so he said that he was walking to the bus stop when he called me. So I thought I'd give my mum a ring and congratulate her on her awards. I said, well, that's very kind of you, very good of you, Mark. Walking to the bus? Has your car broken down? I said. He said, no, but hark at this, right? He said, saves on parking if I catch the bus into town. And it's a nice sunny day. So I'm going to ride the bus. So he lives over in the marina area, but he works in the city. So he said, why bother taking the car in when I can take the bus? And I thought, well, Mark Bowers, you are growing up, boy. Eh? How mature is that? So he's left his car in the garage and he's gone with public transport. I was impressed, quietly impressed. And then yeah, we had a good chat. He's a good boy. Good looking lad. Yeah, I like my son a lot. He's just such a nice kid, you know. I like both my children, of course I do. You know, you always love them, don't you? But I actually like mine as well. And I know that a lot of you understand exactly what I mean by that. Yeah, they're lovely. Good people. See, so what we're doing is we're just adding a little bit of depth, and be interesting to see, because I'm just pulling it in from the tip here. I think it will look nice when it's done, because it's upside down. It's going to be a big reveal when I turn it round. Let's have a look. So where's that? I did pick out a brush just to dust off the excess, but I find that the polychromos, they don't crumble much anyway. So let's have a look what we got. Are we happy with that? Yeah, that'll do. That looks quite good, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's compare it with the other one. Comparison is the robber of joy, but I'm going to have a look anyway. Is it darker? The original's a little bit darker, isn't it? I put a little bit more of the blue in, but that's okay. Let's put the green in, and we can always go back and add a bit more, can't we? Right, green. How we doing? How we doing? Hang on, let me just check for a minute. Let me just take those glasses off, because they are like serious. Let me just have a look. Yeah, good, loads of you. Sorry to interrupt your regular viewers, but could you explain your pencils? Are they waxy? Oh, yes. Polychromos are oil-based, so they're very waxy. They're like blending pencils. They are like oil, okay? But they're very, very lovely. They're Faber-Castell. We sell a set of these. The reason I've gone to the polychromos is because of that particular blue I'm after. The pergoliners, see, they also have, they're a combination box, which is one of the best things about it, really. So in the combination box, you've got 20 A pencils. The A pencils, A is for aqua, they're water soluble. And then down here, you've got the B pencils, which are the blending pencils. And they, again, are the oil-based or wax-based, as you say. Okay, so those are the ones that they don't respond to water. They're fast, but they respond to oil. So if, for example, I was to use oil with either the B pencils or the polychromos pencils, these oil based, you see, oil and oil mix, so they go together. That's a fact. Okay, right, let's keep going. I hope that answered your question. Nicole, I can't see. Sorry, my eyesight's not that good. Oh, there you go. They are an oil-based. Jane's all over it. Thanks, Jane. Now let's go green. Let's go green. Now, again, I'm going to go in that set of those 12 polychromos. I'm going to put a really lovely light yellow down just as a base. Okay, because I want these leaves to be fresh. Yeah. So we just put down a little bit of, just a little tiny bit of yellow. And it will just lighten, because they're like blending pencils really, aren't they? So if I put another colour over the top, I'll get a good mix. And then, let me just check what I'm doing here. Yeah, see, so that trumpet piece as well, I mean, a little bit of artistic license here. So, because I'm doing it upside down, I just want to get this right for you. Okay. So wherever I've put yellow is where we're going down with the green. Round it goes, round the stalk, round here. Okay. These are going to be lovely, these posters, you know, when they're done, aren't they? So that looks quite good. Right, so we've got a bit of yellow going now. Now let's have a look at these leaves, because I want to show you, if we take a leaf, okay, let's take a pencil. Let's just take a lead pencil. All right, and let's draw a leaf, like a leaf shape. Okay, leaf shape. We're going large so you can see what I'm doing. And now I'm going to put, let's call it a vein. What's that called? Help me out. I think it's a vein. Yeah. So we've done that, we've done that. Right. So Jane, I've asked those questions. I've answered that, haven't I? Right. So now let's just do an undercoat of this yellow. There we go. That's a polychromos yellow, or B pencil in the. Now what we're going to do is get a little bit of depth going, like shading. So we're going to go like this: light, dark, light, dark. That's what you've got to think in your head. We did this loads during lockdown, but I know there are lots of new people here. And what I mean by that is you've got light. So you've got 1, 2, 3. So you've got that inside edge, that edge there, that edge there, and that edge there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see what I mean? So you've got one edge here, light. Then you've got the side above there. Let me just put some dark in there. Let me just put a bit of green in there so you understand what I'm doing. So nothing on that edge. That's just yellow. Then here, I'm introducing a little bit of green. Right, so the green mixes up with the yellow. So that's dark. Let's call that dark. Okay. Then it goes light here on this side again, and then dark around the bottom. Right, so let's put a bit of depth here as well. So a bit of shadow. So now I've got green there, dark, dark. And what will happen is in a minute, let's just blend the two. Let's get a bit of shadow going so it doesn't look like a green stripe along the bottom. But it gives you a clue as to where to put the shadow. See here, and then when you blend it in, or you move it in a little bit like that, let's just tee that up a bit like that. There you go. See, and then you could take the yellow, let's go again, right? And I'll put a little bit of lightness up here and a little bit of lightness in there. So the light's hitting there and it's hitting there. So where the yellow is where the light's hitting. And where the green is, if you like, is the shadow. Look, see? And as you start to build that, has that gone dimensional on me yet? See? And that then is the bottom light. That's how you get that sense of depth, light and shade. So it goes light, dark, light, dark. Right. Now convert that to miniature. And if you haven't got a middle, you create a middle. Look, I'll show you. So on these ones there, look, light, dark, light, dark. Light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. See? Light, dark, all the time. Just remember where the light's coming from. But look how nice that looks in miniature. Remember, mini makes. Then here, these are open. So you're going to put a little stream, just going to put a little line of depth down the center. Okay? And here again, a little bit of depth. But let's do the light, dark trick first. Okay? So we'll do the ones that we know what to do. Light, dark, remember? Right, I'm going to turn this round. Excuse me. I'm going to fold that back on it. Like, that's it. That'll do. Right, light, dark. But I'm telling you now, folks, you need a sharp pencil for this job. So let's do a sharp pencil. Sharp pencil. You do. Because you've got to get in to that tiny little leaf. That'll do. Good. Okay, ready? Let's do it. Good practice. This is good practice. By the time you've done all the leaves on this poster, you'll be a master leaf colorer. Right, let's have a look. Okay, light, dark. Let's do the obvious one. Light, dark, light, dark. There you go. So what you're doing is adding shade. That'll do. Right, light, dark. Like that. Light, dark. So put your first two lines down. Where's that little brush to stop the split? I did have a little brush. There it is. There. You getting this? Dark, dark. See, it's funny because it's only a little thing. Light, dark, light, dark. When it's too tiny to even contemplate it, try it anyway. Here we go. Light, dark, light, dark. And it still works, you know, even in miniature. Now this side, the light's coming from the top, so we'll move it round. Light, dark, light, dark. There you go. Light, dark, light, dark. Easy. Dark. That'll do. Light, dark, light, dark. And if you go over the edge, like I've just done, it's all right. You've got to have really good eyesight to see that. Who cares anyway? That'll do. I did a really nice, even if I say so myself, I did a really nice collage yesterday with tea bags and papers, and I'm just doing a bit of yellow now to get some bit more contrast. There you go, just add a little bit of yellow just to blend it in. I really liked it, and I'm going to build a series of workshops around that. I think I want to do that, you know. I want to do these 1, 2, 3 workshops. I think you'll enjoy them. Okay, where we get together, like, it's just a course, if you like. So it's not just like a make and take or a craft along. It's a proper course, and I show you tricks and tips, and you know, I think you might enjoy it. I hope so. But so I've got to start somewhere, haven't I? And I thought, right, I'm going to start with the because if it's a 1, 2, 3 course, right? So say we get together. I've told you about this already. Say, for example, we get together the first Thursday or Wednesday. Let's call it a Wednesday, and then we do the first course. This is those paid online courses that I'm trying to get organized, right? So we do the first evening session, and you learn, that's the number 1. Then the following week, on the same day, same time, same day, right? This time I'm coming in here now with a little bit of green along that bottom edge there. So the next week on the same day, we get together again, another couple of hours, right? 2.5 hours. It's our intermediate, right? So we take what we learnt the week before, and we reinforce that knowledge, that information, and then we add something else to it. So now we're doing number 2, another project, which is a little bit more advanced, if you like, or a little bit more challenging, or involved. And then on the third week, we go again, and we'll again reinforce what we did. Just keep those going here. Just got to get in there now. Reinforce what we did. Do you see? And then add another trick, another little technique, and that'll be number 3. So then by that time, you've done 3 weeks, right? So my old teaching head says, right, you're it's that repetitive element as well. So you're learning something new, then you're doubling down on it the following week. That's key. There's no point in doing something, then never visiting it again. You might as well not have visited it the first time round. So double down on it the following week, kind of revisit it. Yeah, this is going to be lovely. I like this one. Revisit it. Have I put anything in the middle of these? No. I'm just checking. I've got them. I've got that. I've got that. Got that. Nice. Okay, so so we revisit it, and then the third one we go again. I think that would be if I were going to enroll for a course, that would be my idea of a good 3-parter. So it's not all, like when we did the collages, the paper collages, we were there all day, weren't we? And that's well, all afternoon, and that works as well. But I think if you can spread it over 3 weeks, 3 evenings, for example, it gives you a chance to digest what you've learned, especially with something a bit more mixed media. It's a good idea to sort of stop, start again, stop, repeat, start again. To my mind, to my old teaching mind, that's how it works. Go back again. They're nice, those leaves. Right, a little bit of sharpener. You get what I mean? Well, anyway, I hope you're up for it, because that's what I'm doing. And last night we were all in the craft along. But what I do want to do is say that last night I kind of broke the back of definitely number 1. And I know now exactly where I want to go with it. And I showed the guys at work, because it's like you've got to kind of, I might think it's great, and then I'll go to work and I can tell when somebody's being polite and they go, that's nice. But they were blown away by it. They said, this is brilliant, this is lovely. And Sue said, I want to do that. And as soon as Sue goes, I need to know how you did that. I want to do that. That's for me. Then I think, okay, it's got legs, you see. So watch this space. I just need a little bit more time, because I'm not going to launch 1 until I've worked out 2 and 3. It's a package. When you buy it, you buy the 3-part course. Okay, so that'd be all right. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Right, now I'm going to go back. Do you know where I'm going back to? I'm going back to just put a little bit more blue. I'm coming back in for the blue. And I'm going to just add a little flash of blue on the bottom side. Just a tiny little. I like working in miniature. I do like working in miniature. I think it's a confidence builder too, isn't it? It's not as easy as you think, though, do you? Everyone think, oh, I'll keep it small. It's not always as easy as you think. The small. It might not be a mural, but it still requires a little bit of attention, doesn't it? Working in miniature. You've got to have good eyesight. Well, that's for sure. Oh, Jane goes, and don't forget you won Best Workshops. That's right. Oh, by the way, sorry. So if you'd like to join our award-winning workshops, oh no, there you go. Thanks for reminding me, Jane. She's laughing her head off. Our award-winning workshops. And don't forget, we've also released the dates. They're on the website for our award-winning retreats in the summer and our award-winning workshops, which we've bolted onto the open days. I don't know. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. It spurs you on, friends. It spurs you on, doesn't it? Eh? So I think we've done a really good job of the A for allium. What do you think? I mean, you could titivate. I think we call this titivating. You got to know when to stop as well, don't you? And you can see, let's go back to the grey now, right? Let's go back to this grey, because I don't really want to, I don't want to use a blending oil. This is for Nicole. I don't want to use, Nicole, I don't want to use a blending oil on the flowers. I like that they've got a little bit of texture and a little bit of interest. But I want to show you, at the risk of repeating myself, I want to show you how you can use blending oil with these pencils. Right, let's give it a go. Right, I've got my little spot on sponge. So this is the carrier for the oil. It works really well because you don't need a lot. So if you just drop a little tiny bit on a sponge, that's plenty. Okay. Dorso oil. It's a parchment thing, but it works fantastic on card as well. So we'll just pop a little bit on there. Oh, hello, that's plenty. Okay, smells nice too. Right, and then we need our blending pens. Fantastic piece of kit, right? You buy these, they come like that, and then you could buy the nibs, and then you've got your nib and they just come together like that. And then, like I've got, oh, I'll show you. I've got nibs there, and Dave made me a beautiful little wooden box for my nibs. I love it. Right, so I've got my nib thing there, and I just need a bit of card. What have I got here? That'll do. A bit of card. Right, so you can see the oil there. I don't want to overcook it. See, the nibs have got a tiny little, they're so, I don't know if you ever, there, look at this. So now I'm just going to start moving that pigment around. See, the oil just disperses it. The difference is quite something. Can you see this all right? I bet you can. I'll keep it in the picture especially. See, so where it was quite granular before, these little nibs, they just disperse. It doesn't affect the line art, but it really changes makes it look like a print. So I don't know if you could see that. Changes it completely. And you just move around. See if we can really, can you see that okay? Let me know. Because I might come in a little bit closer just to show off. So you can see where I've gone with the oil and you can see where I haven't, I think. Okay, so if I come in here, see, so you can get a fantastic, and if the oil goes through to the back of your card when you're doing this, it will dry away again. A bit closer if you can, Jane says. Okay, right, let's see if we can get in a bit closer. Right, let me just see if that works. Let it focus. It might be too much. I might have to come out a little tiny bit. Just bear with me a minute. There you go. That's it, isn't it? So you can see I've done this side there, but I haven't done this bit here, the tricky bit. That must be better. Right, so now let's see if I come in here and I'm going to use my nib and I can just bring that colour in, right? Just use a little bit of oil. There we go, look, in there like that. You watch it change when I bring the oil in. Oh, look, I've just seen a little blue thing that I missed. Attention to detail. Just get the oil in there like that. And when it's dried, you can go in and go again if you want to. You can add another. Best to let the oil dry, but you see the difference? You know, and if nothing else, what's so marvellous about this, especially when you're working in tiny like this miniature, what's marvellous about this is, do you know how calming this is? It's crazy. Just so calming. You could chop this up, you know. You could chop this up into tiny little pictures, little toppers, if you wanted to. There you go. There. Absolutely marvellous. Yeah. So the blending nibs are really a must-have. You know, blending pens and the blending nibs. Let me show you if I go into, let's just go into one of these and see if I pull this through and I drag it in from the top. See if I bring a little bit of, see how it changes it when it dries. Look, I'll show you. See? Just smooths out the colour so it looks like a poster, like a, whoa, hello, we're making a poster. I've decided to bite the bullet. And I think what's also worth noting is that line art, the print stays exactly where it's supposed to. It doesn't move the ink. There. Now let's turn this around and let's have a look. Isn't that lovely? There you go. And I found one little tiny stray, I don't know what that is, but I'm colouring it in anyway. There you go. There. Happy with that? Happy with that? So, A for allium. I was going to do B for bougainvillea and C for cornflower, but that didn't happen. Tell you what, though, you could do those. How about that? How about, can we do this? Do B for bougainvillea and C for cornflower before next Thursday? What do you reckon? Go on. I bet you could. And then next Thursday, I will have done B for and C as well. And then next Thursday, we'll go to D and E, the Edelweiss and the Daisy, which are the white ones. Those are the ones that I'll show you a couple of tricks. The other ones are just pure colouring, and you can use that light, dark trick on the leaves. Do that. And then we'll go to the, we'll go to D and E because they are, yeah, we'll do those together, okay? That's what I'm saying. Right, I'm going to give you a little heads up on what's coming up tomorrow, if that's okay. Yeah? Yeah. Good. Now, Richelieu. Okay, so the Richelieu plates. I think you know what, maybe you've looked it up. It's a kind of lace, and it's something that I've always really liked. I've always been drawn to it. When my German grandmother, she had these, I didn't know it was called Richelieu, I only just figured it out a little while ago. But they're lace, which is like webbed, you know. I've got some that I'm going to show you tomorrow in the TV show. But it's almost like it's connected with little tiny arms, little bars of thread. So you've got these lovely big pieces. I wrote about it in the blog tonight. You've got big pieces. They're called sprigs, let's say, like lace, big sprigs of lace. My wedding dress was like this. I'll wear my wedding dress tomorrow. How's that? That'll pull a crowd. I don't think I'll get it over my knees anymore. But I know that this bit it was very much this Richelieu lace. And so what it is you get these big pieces and then they're connected with little arms, right? The thing about the plates is the way that Linda designed them. We worked on these together, but the way that they're designed is you can cut them. You don't have to cut them, but you can cut them, you can color them, you can perforate them, and you can emboss them. So what happens with this Richelieu lace is that the embossed bits come up and the debossed bits go down. It's really, really beautiful. If I show you the plates, right, they're designed in such a way. So our job tomorrow is to give you a really good idea of how this works. Okay, so say for example, this here, it's done in such a way you could emboss this bit, right, color that bit, cut that bit out. We'll show you tomorrow. Look, here's a piece of artwork to look at that. All right, that's all I'm going to say. So this is a Linda Williams piece. Now look at this, right? Now have a look. If I said that was like Richelieu lace, okay, this is what I'm talking about. And then the lace that's got the little tiny bits, they're like in between here. They're like little, almost like hairs that attach. Do you know what I'm talking about? Right. Well, so that plate there is that piece of artwork. I've only brought the one piece of artwork though, because I don't want to spoil the excitement for tomorrow. Okay, otherwise we'll just do it all now. But I just wanted to explain to you the versatility of the plates. Don't think, oh no, they're going to be too complicated. The first demo I'm going to do, there is no cutting. There is no cutting. It's all about, you know, like what we did last night. This, you remember I said there's a warm up. Well, now you know what we're warming up. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. It's very exciting. But what I like even just as much is this, when you depress, like you deboss, you see with the grids, see how I talked about this before, where you raise the white work and then you go, so it goes up and then you go down with the perforating. Do you see? So you go up, which brings the parchment up, but then you exaggerate that by going down so that's what really excites me. And these plates, so there's that one, I'll tell you another thing, these are great. This little thing here, these little bits, look, see, they're like little arrows. That's a first on a groovy plate. They're such a cute, just a cool fill, right? So you got that one. So this is screaming out for cutting little bits out, putting that netting in, or funny enough, I looked it up. If this is the sprig, if you like, of lace, but look, you cut these bits out, you color them in, you can cut each different one, you can emboss them. They're designed to take all that different interest. This is the one I'm going to do first tomorrow with Paul. Okay, so nice. So pretty, right? And that's the plate they're called, funny enough, they're either called bars or brides, these bits. So you see, you could, not that you would, but if you wanted to, you'd put these in the background. Some of the design team have actually done that. You'll see the samples tomorrow, or on my blog, I put a couple up. So you're taking it to that next level. Now, whether or not you cut in between, but that plate there is what transforms these into Richelieu, that there. And when Linda designed it, she's done it in two halves, and you can see that one half is tighter than that half, okay? So bear that in mind, but it works absolutely. It's formidable when you use that either inside here or around the outside of these, or like take that and then you could put that. It's just gorgeous. And when I show you the lace tomorrow, you'll go, I know exactly what you mean. My nan had that. So there you go. those are the plates. They're already on sale on the website if you want to shop ahead. I've got a feeling we're going to be very, very busy for these because it's been a little while since we had something this new and exciting. So I reckon you might enjoy those. And if you've got the grids, then these are the plates that you will really enjoy using, you know, putting the grids through their paces. If you want to learn more about embossing, white work, then these are the plates, because it really, for years, always when I've seen parchment art, it's that kind of art that's the art that draws me in on parchment. It's that contrast between the raised white work and then the debossed perforating. And now add to it the Richelieu lace in the background, and you have yourself something really quite spectacular. So there you go. That was that. Thank you so much for joining me, Jane. Thanks for your help. And I hope that you got something out of our little A for Allium, a little bit of colouring. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Now I'm going to go and find my husband. Now, before I do that, one little thing that I will say, right, which I should have put in my book, but I didn't. Okay. It's important to write down, like here, like, oh, I've written down the pencils I used. Cold grey 3, otherwise I would never remember which one I used for the poster grey. And then A for Allium, I've got to write in there sky blue and whatever the other one was. What was it? Sky blue and the darker one. I must remember. Light ultramarine. There you go. So I'll write down the numbers of that in there, and then job's a good one, because that means when I go to replicate it or do it again, I need to know which green I used, which yellow I used, and which blue I used. There you go. Job's easy. And then I've got my little diary, and provided I don't lose that, I'm in with half a chance. Good. Thanks for joining me. Lots of love. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And thank you again. Bye-bye now.